Can you go to your phone and then count how many social media apps do you have?
I have around 10.
10.
11.
Line, Telegram, Messenger, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Discord, Pinterest. I have 9.
I have 8.
If you guys could only choose one social media platform to live for the rest of your life without any explanation, which one would it be?
Instagram. Việt đây sẽ Telegram.
Yeah, I said Telegram.
Really?
YouTube.
Maybe I'd choose YouTube too.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Talk A Lot podcast, episode 4. Today, I'm Panyabot. I will be doing an introduction. And our topic today is kind of special because we're going to talk about social media. And one stage of our life, we face the downside of using social media, and we're going to talk about how it has impacted our lives, how it has improved it, and how to deal with the toxic situation in the social media. And today we have our guest speaker from the last episode, which is Bong Panya. Hello.
So
At this modern age, I think everyone has exposed to social media, and it is a very common thing. Even the older people, they are using the younger one. So, and sometimes social media can be a really toxic place, and sometimes it can be a place where you can meet new people and build your self-confidence and do something inspiring, like example, doing contents. Like example, I wouldn't say I'm a content creator, but I would say I would identify myself as the social media enthusiasm, which I love, I passionate about doing it. And so I also do my videos beside from We Talk A Lot podcast. Yeah, and shout out to my social media platform. It is exactly the same reason, my name, Tham Panyabot Ponariay. Please go subscribe and follow and share as well.
I think social media is a very interesting topic to talk about in this digital era. Can you guys share me that one situation or one time where you need to take a social media break and why?
For me, it's easy during exams week. During exams week.
You need to focus on your exam, right? So
Yeah, need to focus.
distracted by social
Exam week, and whenever I feel not myself, whenever my self-esteem is low, that's when I know like, oh, I need a break. Like I don't want to know about the people that I know, like friends, family. I just don't want to know about their lives for a little bit. Yeah.
True.
But why is that? Just curious. Like why
No,
not?
check that. Wow, very
No,
simple.
no,
Check
I
that.
think
Oh, that's so funny. He's like a therapist. And what do you think is that?
Exactly. That's how my therapist asked me. Always follow up
How do you think? Okay, answer. Why is that?
because like it just feels so draining. Like sometimes like I compare myself a lot to like the lives of like the friends or my families that I know. So it's just like drains so much of my energy that I'm just like, that there's always this one time that you just don't want to know anything about anyone. You just don't want to hear or know anything anymore. You just like want to be in your own world. Yeah. It's just a simple. It's nothing like complicated like blah, blah, blah. No, not really.
Okay, so for me, I think it's interesting when you talk of when friends are involved. Because for me, I've never like just social media itself hasn't really like taken me that much where I need to like necessarily take a break from it. When I do feel like take a break from it is it's kind of getting a little personal, guys, but it's when I was in like a toxic or unhealthy relationships were the times where I feel like I needed to take a break. But just me by myself, I've had a pretty healthy relationship with social media. Like I know when to stop, I know when to just I have my own limit. Even during exams, I still you'll still see me online on Facebook during exam week. Yeah. So that's my case. What about
good.
you guys?
I guess when you talk about social media, maybe you have to mention your platform. Is it YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok? Usually, right, when we talk about social media, it's always about maybe some kind of distraction. Even though I kind of know, right? I should not be distracting myself on social media and stuff like that. But it's a constant, I feel it's a constant battle. But although it doesn't affect me as much as I would say like it doesn't affect me as much as I think. But let's say if we talk about Instagram, I think at one point I deleted my Instagram also. I mean, I just deleted the app. I think it's like if it's on your phone, it's so easy to just like open it and click on it. Right? Maybe at some point it almost becomes a default when you open your
Yeah.
phone,
True.
It is.
right?
You just know where it
And
is.
yeah, like unconsciously click on kind of like that. So at that point, you kind of like take a step back. Okay, maybe delete it first and stuff like that. But I feel what's more impact to me, like let's say in the more negative way, is probably YouTube. Because for me, I feel there's a constant need to learn something or do something. So on YouTube, I usually, watch random things, but they're like towards the maybe educational or something to do with an event or something like that, or like a documentary or something like that. At one point, I realized that, I'm watching this documentary and I'm interested in it, but I'm not really paying attention to it because I'm just watching it for the sake of watching it. At one point, I don't know like how to describe it. Is it me just distracting myself from thinking about other things, or am I actually interested to watch that documentary kind of like that, right?
So for me personally, I think everyone has a slightly different experiences about using social media. So for me, back in Cambodia, during the high school phase, there was one time that I stopped using social media and also attempting to delete my account, but I just delete the app instead because of the toxic relationships with my friends, and also uh like Bomir they mentioned about the school, like the pressures. And yeah, that's the reason why I started hated social media and I want to take a break. And starting then until now, I don't think I have a bad relationship anymore. I have built a lifelong good relationship with social media because I feel like studying abroad, like I need to stay connected with the family, friends around me all the time. And I don't want to feel like lonely because staying abroad is already being apart from your family. So I want to stay connected with them, and I want to like follow the news information about like our countries and the world around us about what's happening. So I think right now I would say I'm kind of addicted to the social media, but I'm not overusing it. I know I just know how to control my mind, like when to use and when not to use. But let's say my screen time has increased significantly compared to before. Yeah, I use kind of a lot now.
Screen time. That's interesting. Let's check each of our screen time. I want to know.
That's a good
Let's check
point.
it. I know it's a
Let's check
lot.
I
Instagram
would, but like
screen time.
I'm using my phone for Zoom, so I can't.
I like what Panyabot just shared with us. I think to sum up, it's like social media is toxic or healthy depending on how one manage to use it. Whether you manage it correctly or incorrectly, it's depend on you.
Mm.
And it's really come down to personal preferences of how much time you used it, what kind of content are you consuming, and
Mm.
kind of platform are you using. So it's really depend on personal preferences and personal experiences.
Yeah. I think it's a very interesting point on YouTube. So I'm wondering whether you guys see YouTube as what kind of angle do you guys have on YouTube, right? Because like for me, Panyab said that it's like he feels pressure to learn something out of it. For me, YouTube is just pure entertainment. And for me, as I'm living alone at the moment, like I need YouTube noises in the background for me to function. Otherwise, I cannot do anything. So, what do you guys relate to this, or is it just a me thing?
I feel like before I could say that YouTube is such an amazing platform to, learn things from tutorials. Because, for example, like me, I learned baking purely out of YouTube. But nowadays, I cannot say the same thing anymore because every day nowadays, like our attention span is so short. So YouTube realized that, and they are more focusing towards like the shorts, YouTube shorts, rather than like an actual video. And I feel like it's just so hard to learn anything on YouTube now. So for me, it's just really out of entertainment as well, like Monty that mentioned. And sometimes I could barely rarely find a good video where I could learn something, good out of it.
So for me, I think I use YouTube 50-50, like meaning 50% to studying and 50% to like entertainment. So I also, as a STEM student, I learned some programming language from that to build like some fundamental stuff. And when I struggle with math, I also watch YouTube, especially shout out to Indian guide. They are very good at teaching, and they saved my life many times.
Have exactly the same experience like Bot. I use YouTube 50-50 for entertainment and for self-development purpose. Right now, I'm taking a course on UX UI design. So YouTube really has been one of the great place for me to learn from others designers as well.
So I think we have talked and shared many things already. So I wanted to move on to a slightly different topics. So I'm not sure if it is just me or not, but like people nowadays, they love doing things quickly. For example, like if I want to know how to bake a cake, I wouldn't watch a 20 minutes video on YouTube. I would rather than watch a 1 minute video shorts on YouTube or Reels or Instagram. Yeah, TikTok. Yeah. So what do you think about that?
I think that's really what Mia just mentioned, that people nowadays have short attention span. Yeah, so we prefer something quick because I feel like the time now is kind of like passing by us very quickly. We don't have time to sit and watch through like 1 hour long or 30 minutes tutorial of how to do things. We prefer something quick and short, meaning that we can get the most out of it in the shortest time as possible. And then that's it. I think I'm also walking towards that too. I prefer something quick and short, and TikTok has been one of the most social media platform that I use the most right now. So
I also found TikTok very inspiring place like to get inspiring new ideas about your life and
definitely.
self-development. Yeah.
It's funny because I've always thought of TikTok like 2 years ago. I've always thought of TikTok as being like bike sloy. But then
I was gonna say the
like
same thing.
yeah.
I was gonna say
But then but then honestly now it's amazing how much TikTok, like the power that TikTok holds. Like in hospitality industry, in the industry that I'm studying, people don't even go to like, like people our generation, we don't even go to Google anymore to find like the best restaurants or things to do in this city, in this country.
Yeah.
TikTok is always the first thing that they do. Like the best restaurant in Vietnam, the best hotels in Bangkok, and it's like an alternative to Google, and it's such like an amazing like search engine that allows you to like find things very easily and like based off like real experience that people like share their real experience.
I think what is so appealing about TikTok is that a lot of the creators it feels like art when they're sharing, it feels like very personal, very friendly. It has that like, it doesn't have the same barrier as like other search engines has. Whereas TikTok, you search it, oh, there she is, there he is. Feels very closer, I guess.
Personalized,
Yeah. Does what use it? Do you use it?
Yeah. It is my go-to platform.
Oh, interesting.
I told you, fun guys use TikTok.
Yeah, the question is about attention span, right? You guys were talking about like having shorter attention span, but I feel, is it something that we can change, or is it something that is it evolution, or is it I feel like it's something you can change, but like I want to know what are your opinion on, how could you increase your attention span?
I think this is definitely something that the environment or what you're using, like social media, shapes you more than anything related to evolution or genetics.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
You guys know, some of you guys might know that I have a reading account. Shout out to Tita Reads. And when I was in high school or year one, I used to read like 4 or 5 hours per day. It's crazy. But now I cannot pass like 5 pages. I cannot read 5 pages, you guys. Yeah, but I think that, so yeah, it definitely changed. Like it's not something like I'm not just reading 5 pages the entire time. It's it has shortened, but I highly believe that I can change it back. So yeah, it's not fixed. Your attention span is not fixed.
Definitely.
Not evolution.
It's not evolution. I believe that we can work on it and we can improve it, and maybe cutting down social TikTok just a little bit is would be one step into helping it. Maybe, I don't know.
I think you just consume like long form content more and choose a longer form content rather than shorter form, unless it's something you just like need to find out like, on a Google search. You can, let's say you search on TikTok or find it out, but like if you in terms of consuming content, maybe it's a lot better to consume longer form content.
So I used to have Discord for learning French and playing chess. And yeah, and so in Discord, it's kind of like if you've never used Discord before, it's kind of like, think of it like, how do I think of it like Facebook, but it has Facebook groups only. Think of like it's basically a Facebook group thing. So there will be like communities for each category, and people can join like a voice chat to hang out, or people can chat. So it's more like a community oriented kind of social media, and I was using it to learn a lot of the French that I used to learn, but also to play chess. And I also have a lot of friends that I met there that I still talk to this day. Yeah, so I think if you've never seen Discord before, I think the purpose of that was for gaming. So people can game and still like chat and still game at the same time. But if you find a way to use it correctly, I think it can be pretty useful, because like I meet some of the friends from the communities that I still talk to this day, and I met them at when I went to Japan. So yeah, could be cool, could be scary, depends on you. It's very popular in Thailand as well.
I don't use it, but I know about it. And in fact, my husband has a group of his friends, and yeah, he mostly use it for like gaming with his friends and like
Yep.
talk to his friend.
Personally, I really like Discord because so for me, so far I've never had really like negative experience with it, and I use it mostly for keeping up with my friends. So sometimes I use it to play chess or something. But yeah, I know that if it seems very weird for some people who've never used it, but I
Yeah,
really like it.
for sure.
Yeah.
There's so many platforms of social medias out there, and one, of course, could not like know it all, use it all. So it's really like about pick and choose what you want to use.
I bet I can name one social media that you guys can all agree that it's just non-toxic and it's healthy and it's great.
What?
Pinterest.
Oh yeah.
Pinterest. Yeah, Pinterest is chill, right?
Yeah, so it's just the pictures there. So it's very non-toxic. It's just like
Chill.
for me, it's a place where I get so many pictures or get inspired from.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
the aesthetic of Pinterest is just so beautiful.
My relationship with Pinterest is a good and bad one,
Oh,
because
really?
because like inspiration, right? Inspiration is good, but when you're working on a project, at one point, like I can say like I'm helplessly scrolling on Pinterest for ideas, and
Oh,
very unhealthy. And I think one of the things that I learned this like recently, like especially this year about design, is that you just have to, like, when at one point where you have no idea what you have to do, you just have to sit with it. It's very painful, but you just have to make, let's say, a bad design and get the bad design out, get all the bad design out before you come up with a good design. Or maybe the bad design can turn into a good design. But if you start opening and looking for inspiration, that's the moment that you'll never get anything done. Because I mean, at the beginning you could, but I think at the middle point where you're trying to design something and you're trying to come up with like a good idea, if you look at it, it's not gonna help. Like it's very, very toxic. And I think one of the things that I find very good about Pinterest is I get to study about a lot of new projects. I get to expose a lot of new projects, but if you just go on like Pinterest and just look at the picture, look at the, let's say in my case architecture, it's not really helping. But if you click on the link and actually go to read all the description about the design, about everything, that helps. But
Okay.
then over time, you kind of build the knowledge of, okay, I've seen this before and they do it this way, or it was designed this way, like that, like that. But if you just go and scroll helplessly, trying to find an idea, it's never gonna come. It only comes at the harshest part is when you have no idea and you're bored and you just sit there with a pen and a paper, no idea. You have to stick with it for many hours, just nothing coming out. But like at the end of the day, you figure something out because like it's helpless to just scroll through Pinterest. Like that's my relationship with it. It's like a good and a bad.
I see. I
I
see.
feel like when work is involved in social media, it gets like it adds another layer of difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're a visual like design major, then
Okay, so our episode has come to an end, and today we have talked a lot about topics related to social media, and we also talked the how it impacts our life and how to control the social media and which social media platform each of us like the most. And we also share a great experience on like how did social media inspire us to do things and what are the bad things about it. So I think that's it for the video about We Talk a Lot podcast in this episode 4, and we are hoping to like deliver more cool topics to talk to the audience. And so please stay tuned and see you in the next episode.